Hello, let's talk about how my client doubled her sales. And most importantly, I want to go through the kind of steps of what we've done so that you can see what you need to do to make this happen as well. So first of all, let me say that we were working together for 3 months in my one-on-one private coaching container. Now, this particular client she'd done some mindset work before. She was posting consistently. She was making sales in her business, but she wasn't blowing up in the way that she wanted to, right? She was like, Tash, I am ready to blow the F up in my business. So the first thing we do before we even get into the actual coaching part of it, we have a deep dive session. And we do this in person because I'm sorry, there's nothing better than actually meeting my clients in human form in person. I absolutely love it. And of course, we get to connect on a whole different level. And of course, there's champagne as well. Now, also, excitingly, this summer, what I've decided to do is all my one-on-one clients are actually going to have a half day here at my house, which I'm very excited about. So yes, there's going to be we're really going to get the whiteboard out. We're going to get the pens out. We're going to have our computers. The champagne's going to be flowing. We're going to get into your business. So that's the first exciting part. So if you're interested, then send me a DM and we can have a chat about working one-on-one together. But the first thing we do before we even get into the strategy is the subconscious work, right? We need to look at where you are right now in your thinking, in your feeling. The beliefs that you are operating your business in right now is so freaking important because it will be the reason why you hit your goal or you don't. Whether you're coming to me and you're saying, Tash, I'm making 5K in my business, I want to double it to 10K. Whether you're saying, Tash, I'm at 7K and I want to get hit to 15K, whatever it may be, right? The first thing we're going to look at is your belief systems around making that particular money milestone. If we don't discover what those beliefs are, we're not going to be able to change them. And that is the first thing we need to do. We need to change and shift those beliefs that are holding you back right now of why you can't make that money, why you feel you need to work harder in order to make that money, while there's a this or a that, or there's no possible way that I can run a 6-figure business and be at home with my children. Whatever those beliefs are, it's my job to melt them, to shift them. So then we can switch you into the identity of somebody that of course makes that type of money. Because when you're coming from the energy of I really want to make 15K this month, and you're coming from that energy, your audience can feel it. So it doesn't matter what strategy you're going to execute, because the beliefs that you're operating your business from, showing up live, doing your emails, recording your podcast, writing down your blogs, your vlogs, whatever it is that you do, you're coming from the energy of doubt, you're coming from the energy of lack, and that is vibrating at that level. But the level that you want to get to in your business, you need to be vibrating at this level. There are different levels, so we need to switch that up. And that comes into identity work, stepping into somebody that is already achieving that. Because when you know how to identity switch, that's when quantum leaps come into it, because it's not about how long will it take me to get to this goal? It doesn't matter. Every client's absolutely different. I've had a client do it in literally 1 week of working together. I've had a client do it in 6 months. What does it matter if you're coming from the energy of, I know it's going to freaking work out for me? So the identity work is so important for us to shift your subconscious beliefs and step into the identity of someone that freaking does it. Because guess what? When you shift your subconscious beliefs, you don't procrastinate. You don't doubt yourself. You spend your time I work 3 days a week and I am super freaking focused now. I never used to be this focused, but really from deep diving into my beliefs and melting those away, I now operate from the identity of a CEO. How does a CEO run her business? How does she think? How does she feel? How does she show up? How does she sign clients? Step into that energy every single day, whatever task it is I'm doing. Then what we need to look at is we're going to go to the actual strategy part of it is your ideal client. Are you truly speaking to your ideal client? And you might be going, yes, Tash, I am. And I'm like, are you though? Or are you reverting back to the known ideal client that you're well, I know her pain points, I know her pleasure, but I know how to speak to her. So guess what? Your subconscious mind is going to go back to the safety of, well, this is known, so I'm going to do this. But that's not who you really want to be speaking to or attracting or working with. You want to be only speaking to the type of client that lights you the F up. There's a reason you started this business, to transform lives. You want to be spending the time with people that transform their lives, that are going to do the work. They're ambitious, they're tenacious, they're go-getting. They're someone that when I know I go. They're the type of people that I attract into my world. I don't attract people that are hemming and hawing, second-guessing themselves. I don't attract those people into my life that want to procrastinate and blame everybody else. They're this is the situation and I want to change it. Boom, let's freaking go. So do you truly know who you are attracting in? Because let's say you are a business coach and you help your ideal clients build their business. Or do you help someone that's in the startup stage? Or do you help someone that's scaling their business? Because they're going to have very different problems that they are experiencing right now. Somebody that's just starting off will be struggling with the what, the how do I do this? Someone that's scaling their business is like, well, I've got the strategy. Now I want to focus on how can I leverage that? Maybe they are maxed out with their one-on-ones and they're looking to scale their business to a group program, a membership, a course. Well, when somebody's first starting off, they're like, how do I get my first paying client? How do I go from my 9-to-5 job into actually making this a business? So guess what? You as a business coach, for example, creating content, doing lives and speaking to, you want to build your business, you want to sign more clients, that's too vague. It's not going to land with your ideal client. So you need to be making sure that you are super clear on who it is that you want to attract in. I remember when I first started my business, I was a mindset coach that would help anybody. Males, females, cats, dogs, fish, I just wanted to help the world. And guess what? Me trying to help the world wasn't helping anybody because I wasn't signing the clients. It's until I actually got crystal clear on who I wanted to serve, that's when I started to really call in those dreamy ideal clients. And as I've grown, as I've evolved in the years I've been in business, I'm even more super niche in who I actually help. So you need to be getting crystal clear, and that's what we've done with my client. We got crystal clear on who it is that she wanted to serve, because you may think that by knowing your ideal client's favorite perfume, or if she has a decaf oat latte or a chai latte, is what's going to solve their problems, is what's going to sell your offer. It's not. It's absolutely not. That I'm actually going to say it's irrelevant, right? I have clients that are meat eaters and I've got clients that are vegans. So how would that have helped me knowing which one they ate? It wouldn't have. How I teach my clients is getting into where they are right now, what they're struggling with, what's their pain points, where do they want to go, how they're thinking, how they're feeling. We need to go micro so that you can stop the scroll, so that you can speak directly to your ideal client's soul that makes her go, oh my God, I need to get straight into her DMs right freaking now. So once then you've done that work on knowing who your ideal client is, then we're going to look at refining your messaging. Now, you can't do the refining the messaging unless you know exactly who it is you're speaking to, because your message is so important. And how I like to do things very differently in regards to business is I bring in the subconscious into the strategy. So I teach you something that's called subconscious scripting, where this is where you use language and messaging to be able to connect to your ideal client's unconscious mind, because that's how she's going to make her decisions. That is how she's running her business. That is how she decides whether or not she's going to invest into your offer and your services. So it's very important you know how to create messaging that speaks to that part of her. So it's really about refining your messaging, going from the general, I'm going to help you lose weight, make more money, get more clients. It's just too general, and it's going to make someone just literally swipe past you. So it doesn't matter if you're posting every day, because if you're posting content that's that general and that vague and not speaking directly to your ideal client, then she's going to swipe by anyway. And I know that you've got the most incredible offer, gift and service, and that these ideal clients are just going to be swiping past you or not jumping into your group program because they're not seeing the value in it, because that's all down to your messaging. So it's really important that you understand what it is that needs to be going into your messaging. Then we're going to look at your content strategy. And I know this gets people going. When I dive into when I have a look at their social media, my clients, I look at their Instagram and their TikToks, and they're like, Tash, I'm like, okay, what's your strategy so far? What have you done? They're like, well, I'm posting 3 times a day, or I'm posting 5 times a day, or I'm posting 2 times a day. And I'm like, okay, what's your strategy though? And they're like, I'm posting every day. I'm selling on stories. I'm like, that's not a strategy. But you're telling me how many times you're posting. What I want to know is, what's your strategy behind what you're posting? And it makes them go, I get it. It's not about how many times I'm posting, because that's not my strategy. No, of course not. Because if you're posting 5 times a day, the same general, the same macro, the same overview type of content, it doesn't matter if you're posting 50 times a day. What actually needs to be your focus is having a strategy, a content strategy, so you know the lenses of content that you need to be putting out that actually builds your business. So there's types of content that I teach my clients that will build and attract your ideal clients to your page, right? Then there's types of content that actually create connection, because you want to connect with your audience. This isn't about just like buy from me and that's it. That will actually create that connection. Then there's types of content that actually converts your followers into paying clients. So it doesn't matter if you post once a day, but if you're using this content strategy that I teach my clients, then that is what converts them. That is what gets you your DMs filled with the most dreamy ideal clients. Because can you see these building blocks that we're doing? We start with the subconscious work, then we look at who it is that you actually want to be calling in, then we look at your messaging, then we look at your content strategy. And once you have these building blocks in place, that is when you will be doing stories and getting people connecting with you, attracted to your page and going, oh my goodness, I want to work with you. I literally have had, in the last week, 3 people reach out to work with me one-on-one from my content. I done 1 live and had 7 people at the time, 6 people at the time, now we're at 9, but 6 people at the time reach out wanting to know the deets of my event from 1 live. And this isn't because I'm like posting all day. You can see that I don't live on social media. Like, I'm running a business. I'm serving my clients. I've got a 3.5-year-old, actually 3 years, 7 months, that I'm running after. Okay, I don't live on social media, but my work, my hard work of creating content. I actually done some stories about this the other day, about what you see, you think content is, and really what goes on beyond content. I am strategically, intentionally thinking about every piece of content. There is an intention behind every piece of content that you see, what I put out. There is a purpose, a strategy behind every podcast episode that you listen to. Every video you see of me on TikTok, YouTube, wherever it is that you're listening to me, watching me, consuming me. Everything is strategic. Everything is intentional. I don't just post something up and think, hope that works. No, because of course that's not going to work. So once then you know the purpose behind everything that you are posting, that is when we can look at it and go, right, that particular day, I got 6 DMs. Let me look at that content. What was I talking about? What was the messaging? What was the keywords? Why were people reaching out? Because what we don't want to do is create pieces of content, but then you don't actually know why you got 4 DMs that day, or you don't actually know why they reached out and commented event on that particular live. Like, what was it that you were speaking about? Because then once we look at this and we can review it, we can rinse and repeat. And the one thing that I always teach my clients, and this is so, so important. Yes, I will teach you the strategy, and yes, I will teach you when it comes to sales and social media and like your product suite and all of these things. But what's the most important source of this is you. And this is what I get my clients to do, inject themselves into it. I was working out this morning with my sister, and it was, I was listening to a garage track, and it was like, what does it take to be a garage MC? Personality, originality, right? I'm no ways a rapper, but I'm a garage girl. I absolutely love that. And it really got me thinking of, that's what it takes for you to be a standout expert in your niche, in your industry, right? Personality, originality. This isn't about a cardboard cutout of come and work with Tash and I'll make you a mini Tash. Come and join my membership and I'll just make lots of mini Tashes. No, I teach you the strategy, I teach you the bones, and then the meat, the juice, the flavor, the sauce is you. That's what's going to actually sell your offers, sell out your programs. And that's why it's so important that we do the subconscious work, because if you don't believe that you can, if you don't believe you're the industry, you're the one, you're the winner that always gets to win, you're the queen, you're the bee's knees, you're the Beyonce, like whatever it is that you want to use the terminology, you're the goddamn badass, then guess what? It doesn't matter how much of the strategy we do, you're not going to execute it in that energy of like, of course I get to win. Right, and what's really important is that business is going to go up and down. There's going to be things that happen. Can you navigate that? Do you have the tools to be able to manage the highs and the lows? And something I like to teach my clients is neutrality, which doesn't sound that sexy, but trust me, it's what you need when it comes to money, when it comes to success. You don't want to be riding the highs just because you're making X amount this month, or you've had X amount of people sign up, or X amount of people reach out, because when those X amount of people are not reaching out, signing up, and you're not making that money, can you still hold the energy? Can you still sell your services and offers with the same tenacity as if 100 people had just bought it? And this all comes from shifting into the identity to be able to do this. And like I mentioned about, I'm so crystal clear in who I want to be speaking to. So I know that you're listening to this right now and you're like, Tash, it's like you're talking to me. That's exactly where I am right now. It's exactly what I want to work on. I know, because I know my other clients so well. I know the things that you are struggling with right now. I know where you want to get to, and I know the possibilities of what can actually be achieved with that. So of course, I call in go-getting, ambitious, tenacious badasses that have big freaking goals, that are in the delulu, but also want to geek out on the strategy, want to go like Tash, want to get into the sexy strategy and be selling this out and understanding the data behind these types of things. So it's really important that we blend both of them, and that's why I teach my clients soul strategy. So if you're listening to this and you're like, Tash, I would love to find out some more information about working with you one-on-one, then send me a DM with the word badass. I have 2 spots, one to start this month and one to start next month, and 2 packages. It can either be a 3-month or a 6-month, but I'd love to have a chat about where you are right now in your business, where you want to scale it to, what your dreams and ambitions are, what's working right now, what's not working, and how we can make this freaking happen. So I cannot wait to be speaking to you, badass, inside my DMs. Go and have an most amazing day.